This is All India Radio, and now it's the time for weekly program, Our Guest. I hand over the mic to the show host, Nitish Arora, for the same.
Good morning, listeners. Welcome to Our Guest. Today is Maharashtra Day, and huge congratulations to all the Maharashtrians. And I have with me in my studios Dr.Dnyaneshwar Muley, former ambassador, diplomat, secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs, author of many books, and a Maharashtrian. Sir, welcome to the studios.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations to you on Maharashtra Day.
Thank you so much. I think along with you and me, the 12 crore Marathi people in Maharashtra and about 2 crore Marathi people outside Maharashtra, they would all be celebrating Maharashtra Day today.
So, sir, what is the significance of this day?
See, after the linguistic, the states were formed on the basis of language. Still, Maharashtra and Maharashtra combined Gujarati speaking population and Marathi speaking population, which included part of mainly Gujarat as well as Maharashtra. So there was a huge struggle both in Maharashtra as well as in Gujarat to have separate states on the basis of language speaking population in those areas. So 1st May 1960, these two states were created from a bilingual state of Bombay.
Okay.
So that is the significance, and since then every year 1st May is celebrated both in Gujarat and Maharashtra. So we should also congratulate
the Gujaratis for the Gujarat Day.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all the Gujarati people also for the Gujarat Day. And I understand that today is a working holiday in Maharashtra.
Yes. And there are huge celebrations. People sing songs. There is a Maharashtra Geet also. Mangala Desha, Pavitra Desha, Maharashtra Desha. It goes on like that.
Wow. And I can see that although you are in the studios of a Delhi All India Radio, but when I'm talking about Maharashtra, your face is like cheered up.
Glowing. Yes.
It's glowing. So tell us the uniqueness of Maharashtra.
Well, I think we all have in our DNA the smell and fragrance of the air and the soil in which we are born.
Absolutely.
Particularly for Indians with huge diversity, it makes a lot of sense that we know about our culture, we know about our state, we know about the dance, music, costume, cuisine, and that way we become good representatives of India.
Absolutely.
India is, as you know,
it's a bouquet full of
unity
flowers of different colors.
Unity in diversity.
Absolutely.
And but the important part, therefore, is not to lose your identity. Let's say if I lose my language, Gandhiji used to say that if you don't have your own language, it's almost having no tongue.
Absolutely. Now the government of India is encouraging
regional
exams in many regional languages.
Yes, absolutely. And MEP also promotes Indian languages. But the question is, this is a very rich language. Apart from literature that we have for about 1500 years, we also have folk songs, dramas, then musical compositions, films, a lot of, customary proverbs and sayings and, kahavatein, jisko bolte hain.
On that note, why don't you make me and the Delhiite learn how to greet in Marathi? Let's get something this Maharashtra Day from you.
Generally, we greet as, namaskar, but also Ram Ram.
Okay.
Is a very rural population.
As I am welcoming you to the studios, you are welcome to the studios. Yes. How do we phrase it in Marathi?
Well, Arora sahab, स्वागत आहे तुमचं.
स्वागत आहे तुमचं आहे.
आपलं स्वागत आहे किंवा तुमचं स्वागत आहे.
Right.
आपका स्वागत है या तो तुम्हारा.
So that makes my day. Talking about Maharashtra, you have been ambassador to Maldives.
Yes.
And you've seen entire world.
True.
So if you compare Maharashtra with the entire world,
yes.
So how do you weigh Maharashtra vis-a-vis rest of the world?
Well, I think what you say is true about India is also true about the world. World is full of diversity. And the one thing that you can say always is peculiar to a particular region is its history. Like Maharashtra has Chhatrapati Shivaji.
True.
Maharashtra has had Mahatma Phule. And we are also proud of having Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar and Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak. So it has hugely contributed to the nation in terms of thought, in terms of action, and in terms of leading, whether it is economics, whether it is culture, whether it is music, whether it is drama, theatre. as you know, where there's a very
And our Bollywood,
progressive,
the
of
film
course,
industry.
of course, Bollywood, but also
Which came much later.
agriculture.
Agriculture.
So it's India's about 15% of Indian economy is the economy of Maharashtra. It is the largest contributor to the tax in the country.
If you go for industry and heavy industry.
Yes. Tax, direct, indirect taxes, it's largest contributor. And the soil is very, very fertile. Sugarcane is very well known, but also there are cotton growing areas, there are vegetable growing areas, and there are fruits growing areas.
How can you forget kanda? Onion.
Yes, without that, your food will taste.
So the
become
onion,
tasteless.
it's a basket of onion.
Absolutely, Nashik
Nasik.
area.
And then you have Nagpur having oranges.
Santras, yes, and those santras are so delicious. When you look at them, the color is so luscious that mouth starts.
Now
watering.
that you are in Delhi, the most favorite thing of yours in Maharashtra that you are missing here? Is it food? Is it a place?
I think I miss the theatre the most.
Okay.
Starting
Marathi
from Vijay Tendulkar to Mahesh Elkunchwar to so many of them have written such brilliant dramas, and that's why the winter in Delhi, when the NSD has its festival, and they show lots of Marathi dramas also that time. That's a good time, but also one misses one's cuisine, that is food.
Mm-hmm.
And I think still there isn't a good commercial based Marathi cuisine restaurant in Delhi.
But your vada pav is so very famous now. It has become like it's an all Indian flavor.
Yeah. Do you know vada pav must be a mixture of Portuguese and Marathi ingredients. Pav that is there in vada pav is really a Portuguese contribution to that history and life in Maharashtra.
That's very mouth-watering. What are other delicacies of Maharashtra?
Well, if you are a non-veg, there is something called mutton rasa.
Okay.
Kolhapuri chicken is very famous. Similarly, Nagpur's Savji chicken is very famous. The thali in Pune in various restaurants, they are just so mouth-watering. There are other things like thali pet, junka bhakar, and there are so many different preparations of rice that you can have in Maharashtra. If you go to Konkan, everything is based on the nariyal.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of nariyal is used there, but fish is outstanding in the Konkan region, freshly taken from the sea.
Talking about sea, Maharashtra has got a huge coastline also.
Correct.
And people are familiar with, let's say, Mumbai and the Marine Beach or this beach or that beach only. But you can tell us, coming from the horse's mouth. So what are the beaches that one should be going for when they are going to Maharashtra?
I think, in my personal opinion, Goa is very famous. But Konkan beaches are unexplored, more beautiful, full of variety in terms of flora and fauna, because there are the geographic variation, undulations, up and down. Is
any particular place that you refer our listeners to?
Well, you can go to, say, Vingurla, for example. You can go to beaches near Ratnagiri. These are outstanding beaches, and they're small and beautiful. And if you see the sand, it's absolutely pink and golden.
Oh, great.
Beautiful and unexplored. Fortunately, not crowded like Goa. So if you are seeking joy in beauty and privacy, both, then I think Konkan beaches I'll recommend the most.
And friends, hills are also not very far.
Yes.
Maharashtra is like inundated with hills. Absolutely. And hill stations like
Mahabaleshwar, Lonavala, Panchgani. There are so many of them. Khandala. These are full of in my district, Kolhapur district, we have got a place called Panara. These are all either part of the Western Ghats or the ranges emanating from the Western Ghats. And as you know, Western Ghat itself is now a heritage site, UNESCO heritage site in terms of natural diversity and biodiversity.
Not only Western Ghats, there are a lot of heritage sites in Maharashtra. You talk of Ajanta
Ellora is there, Victoria Terminus is there, the Art Deco of British colonial area in Mumbai, that's also considered UNESCO heritage site. Now there are 6 sites in Maharashtra. So I think it's rich in terms of monuments, and the monuments that are there from the Shivaji's time, the forts, they are least explored as compared to forts in Rajasthan. And most of them are in a natural state.
Still they are in the natural state.
Well, and there are actually hundreds of them.
Mhm.
You can't count. They're so beautiful. Some of them are on the hills, some of them are in the sea, and some of them are on the plains. So all three kinds of forts are there. They're given different names also, depending on where. Typically a sea fort is called Janjira.
Janjira.
Yes.
Okay. It's near to the water.
Yes.
So
If
it's
it is on the
Janjira.
mountain, it will be called Durg.
Durg. Okay.
And the generic name is किला, जो आप किला
It's like-
बोलते हो, किला बोलते हो हिंदी में, so किला बोलते हो तो मराठी में हम किला बोलते हो उसको.
Oh.
The diversity, variety, and now youngsters are really taking liking to.
So I was actually coming to that point only. So how has Maharashtra been able to carry on with the legacy of the past to the future?
See, if you want to retain a culture, essentially you have to retain the language, because language is a vehicle that carries folk song, folk culture, customs, even costumes. There are also terms are reflected, the agricultural terms are reflected in it. The entire literature, which is a very, it's a treasure of any culture. It's carried because of language. So Maharashtrians, by and large, are very fond of their language. Though, people like me are worried that there is too much of encroachment of English. But that apart, people are very, very proud of their language. And that being the case, culture is by and large preserved in Maharashtra.
Yes, I can vouch for that. In fact, Marathis are like very possessive about their language, and they say it with pride.
There is a pride.
You have a huge Marathi theatre. You have huge Marathi cinema. Now you're getting very nice blockbusters from Marathi cinema as well. And that is a good sign.
Yeah. I think the sensitivity comes again from being very fond of literature, poetry, culture, and also being proud
So
of
now you have to rhyme a few lines of your poetry on anybody else's poetry, because let's cap it with the chaste Marathi poetry.
I remember a few lines which I wrote in my college days.
Okay.
This, and I'll recite that. The poetry is titled as Kavita Vachu Nakos, which means please don't read my poetry.
Is it a statutory warning?
No. You just see the poem, in the end takes a turn.
Absolutely.
And appeals that you must read the poem.
True.
सो कविता वाचू नकोस, अंगभर फुटतील डोळे आणि पाहशील त्यात तुझ्याच डोळ्यांची प्रतिबिंबे. प्रतिबिंबातील प्रत्येक डोळ्यात असेल एक कविता. निशिगंधाच्या वासानं तुझ्या डोळ्यात बघत कविता वाचू नकोस. कविता वाचू नकोस, रात्री तर मुळीच वाचू नकोस. अवेळीच येईल पहाट, खिडकीतून राहील डोकावत अधांतरी तरंगत. बोलेल तुझ्याशी कविता मागेल, तुला तिचा मत्सर वाटेल का ग. तसं असेल तर कविता वाचू नकोस.
It's so sweet. I can
तसं असेल
taste.
तर कविता वाचू नकोस. पिऊ नकोस डोळे पापण्यांनी या ओळी. तृप्त होशील याची खात्री तुला तरी आहे. असल्यास कर प्राशन या कविता. तिच्या अंगांगावर उठू देत तुझ्याच मिठीच्या स्वाक्षऱ्या. शब्दांचे बनू देत ओठ आणि अर्थांचे मुके. तुझे अथपासून इथीपर्यंतचे श्वास विसरून जा माझ्या कवितेसाठी. मग माझ्या कवितांना फुटतील पंख तुझ्या श्वासांचे. कविता जरूर वाच, कविता जरूर वाच, कविता जरूर वाच.
I can decipher a little bit of it, that it's the poem resides inside you. You do not have to read it; it comes out. Is it like something like that?
Particularly because of in college days we spent a lot of time, day and night, on poetry.
Listeners, I cannot make you see how Mr. Muley is feeling now, and is all full of happiness on this Maharashtra Day, and so are all the Maharashtrians. And I think that if we keep on talking, we can talk for ages on Maharashtra with him. But unfortunately, we'll have to cut it here because we have only 15 minutes at our disposal. Anything special that you want to share with the listeners, with the audience?
Well, I would say that if you haven't seen a Marathi play, then you have missed something in life.
And which play you are recommending, sir?
Well, if you have to suggest one name, I would suggest see any drama of Vijay Tendulkar.
Vijay Tendulkar. I was thinking it will be coming.
Yes. But there are others also.
There are others also. So friends, on this Maharashtra Day, I would recommend, as sir said, that you must watch Marathi theatre. you know that language has got no barriers. You just go watch theater and you will realize that how this rich the language is, how rich the culture is, and how rich we Indians are, that we have an amalgamation of so many states, so many of languages, so many of rituals. It's lovely to be an Indian. It's lovely to be a Maharashtrian. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
That was Dr. Dnyaneshwar Manohar Muley in conversation with the host of the show, our guest, Nitish Arora.